Speaking of Roy Moore, last night, Sean Hannity weighed in after his 24-hour. Did you hear about this?
Uh-huh.
He gave Roy Moore 24 hours to answer the inconsistencies in Roy Moore's story.
His head just keeps getting, he's like a brick now. That's like a brick head. It's like thick as a brick.
Yeah, he's...
the neck and the head are now the exact same width.
Exactly. And pretty soon the neck is going to outpace the head,
yeah.
I think. But somehow, I don't know if he got his timing wrong on this. Maybe he pre-recorded his show. But 2 more women came out and described sexual offenses by Roy Moore, one of whom said that she was a 17-year-old high school student and got called into the office.
Now, that police person in Texas should take a tip from Roy Moore to track down the high school student through the principal's office. This is before Facebook and stuff. This is going back years before social media, and he did it.
He tracks her down at the local school.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a call from the principal, come down. She comes down. She gets on the phone. Hey, it's Roy Moore. What are you doing? And she says, I'm taking trigonometry.
Yeah, trigonometry was real hard. You want to decompress with me? You want to relax before your test?
What job did you get
Can
off?
I talk to your mother? I have to ask your permission.
I have to ask your permission. I mean, I might be a Democrat, but I'm a traditionalist.
When's
amazing.
recess? Are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the lower field for recess? Because I know some of them are playing tag down there. But so here is after all this, Sean Hannity over the 24 hours. What is Sean Hannity's verdict?
On this broadcast, I demanded answers from Judge Moore, and the judge's story broke. Just to remind you, I laid out a history. I don't rush to judgment.
No,
And
not
said,
you, Sean.
These allegations are so serious. This should all transcend politics. Sadly, it's not, but it should. I'm never going to apologize for not rushing to judgment. The issue of presumption of innocence is important to all of us.
Pause it. How quickly do you think he is getting on his microphone this afternoon to talk about Al Franken? Do you think there's actually
everything he just said is so absolutely provably untrue? He is all about rushing to judgment.
Of course.
I'm not going to apologize. It's actually that's in play because he's one of those guys. No apologies.
Right.
Never apologize for who you are, even if you're the biggest asshole in the whole world. Sean Hannity has made a career out of rushing to judgment, lying, working for a lying network, being a bully, being mean. For him to sit there and pretend.
I think he could run through a cement wall today to try and get to his microphone to talk about Al Franken. The speed in which he will be on there will be astonishing, but
Of us. However, these allegations are beyond disturbing and serious. I have a 16-year-old daughter. Ivanka Trump said something today. There is a special place in hell for people who prey on children.
And the Senate.
Ivanka Trump is right. There is a special place in hell for predators. That is something everyone should agree with. That should not be political. Now with Judge Moore. Unlike everyone else in the media, I went right to the source. I interviewed him. I went through the Washington Post allegations methodically, point by point.
Yeah, right.
Through each and every allegation
pause
in
it
the Washington.
for 1 second. By the source here, he means the alleged perpetrator.
Yeah, not the accused.
Not the accused. The half a dozen women
Right.
who have accused him at this point.
The
not
source.
that source.
Right.
I went to the
person who is guilty.
right.
Of
So in
the
other words,
predatory.
not the source. The people that the sources were reporting on,
Yeah.
I went to, point by point.
I went to the definitive, they're lying whores source.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
and also you used the word methodically, which seemed uncomfortable in his mouth. It seemed, because he doesn't use words.
It's
like
the
that
second
a lot.
time he said it. He said it yesterday when he was teeing up the relentless questions against Moore, which involved, what do you say about this? Is that right? So you're saying you never had contact? Okay.
Right.
That was the methodical point-by-point questioning that he did that we played yesterday.
Also, I like it when they bring up their teenage daughters as a shield in this scenario. It's kind of like the pedophilia version of Some of My Best Friends Are Black.
Right, exactly.
Or they do it because there is a slight. I can personalize this slightly. I mean, if I didn't have a 16-year-old daughter, I wouldn't care. But they always say it like, see, I it could
Now,
affect
granted,
me.
my 16-year-old isn't a whore that harasses DAs,
And hangs
but
out at the mall.
hangs out at the mall asking for
Let
it,
me
trying
just
to
say,
ruin good men's careers.
I have a 12-year-old, and if she had the opportunity to meet a district attorney, of course, keep playing this.
Imposed in that piece, and I let him respond. Shockingly, for the first time in my life, even liberals praised that interview.
Did
Rarity
they?
For me.
I doubt that.
And for me and so many others,
Name one.
it is because what happened in that interview, it did raise new questions. And then came the issue of the yearbook that allegedly shows Judge Moore's message to one of his accusers. And that is why, for the sake of the people of Alabama last night, I demanded answers. They deserve them. Those
Yeah, he
people of
cares about
deserve them
Alabamians so
before an
much.
election. And today, we got the answers to the questions that we asked. Let me give you Judge Roy Moore's attorney. He did a press conference and questioned the validity of the yearbook signature. He said it could be forged.
Yeah,
and
he wants
demanded
to see it.
a forensic analysis.
Not a picture.
Well, I spoke to a forensic analyst on my radio show today, and he said they will be able to tell if the ink is fresh or not, and they will be able to look at comparisons to his handwriting then and then that yearbook and determine if it was his.
Excuse me, I have to
Wait
go
a
talk
second.
to Alex
And so
Jones.
that's the
I have to do an Alex Jones forensic.
And so he says that answers it?
Yeah. The lawyer, he
just said that
the
you-
lawyer made that statement. He's just going off of what the lawyer said. Is they want to see the yearbook, not a picture of it. They want to see the actual yearbook and prove that the ink is this, that, and the other. So he didn't even.
But how does that answer
It
anything?
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Why are we even talking about Sean Hannity?
I
This
love
drives
how,
me
you know,
nuts.
the thing that's so touching almost about you, Sam, is that you are a fucking pro at this. You've been dealing with these people for like over a decade, and you still have like, how could Sean Hannity
I
be
know.
so
and Rachel
disingenuous?
Maddow's like that too. So
Take 20
pie-eyed.
minutes.
She's still
This is what
disappointed
this is my
when
issue.
Republicans act
This is-
badly.
Are
This is
you
my-
crazy?
Take 20 minutes before your show, sit down with a producer, and say, how can I make it sound like he answered these things? Like, put a little effort into it.
Sam,
Why?
you're
He doesn't
talking
need
about
to.
Sean Hannity at Fox.
Well, he yesterday
doesn't need to.
Well, yesterday he made the whole show about how, like, I'm giving him 24 hours. At least you
Yeah.
come back and say, you know what? I'm going to extend it.
So you're
to
disappointed that
36
Sean
hours.
Hannity didn't do the right.
I'm just
didn't
saying-
become a better.
I'm just saying,
broadcaster.
do your job well. That's all I'm saying. Do
Well-
your job well, Sean Hannity. Come
Well,
on.
I'm going to quote John Oliver, who said about the Fox people, is it possible to do your job any worse? And the answer is no, it is not. No, it was, could you be any worse at your job? And the answer is no.
I think they're doing exactly what their job is.
Yeah, this is their job. It
well,
doesn't
I guess-
require any great effort. You guys are all. You're,
But they're even bad
you
at
are,
it, though,
you're
because
just
they're not.
overthinking.
They're not very bright. I
But
think
for
there are
who?
ways
For their
well, I know
bright
they're
audience.
talking down
They're a very
to,
bright audience.
to a challenged audience too. But what I'm saying is there are the Greta Van Sustrans and the others
they
who
fired
She's
her.
gone.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is they come across as
Like they can't move their faces.
as educated. Do you know what I mean? Like they aren't quite as bullying and blustery as the Sean Hannity.
But I don't think that works for Fox.
No, it may not.
I
What
think
I'm
for like
saying is
78-year-old racists,
they're
that
there
need company,
anyway.
They would prefer someone
they have
who's
like
more
Kruthamer,
energetic.
Shovel-faced Kruthamer on doing that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean the
know what I
Crypt Keeper
Like
guy.
they have the Crypt Keeper on. And they have other like old school guys from the early '70s come on,
Like-
Literally.
and try and.
I used to
I
be a
think they're like
Democrat,
around
and
their
then I
late
saw
70s.
3 black guys in Copley Square at once. Fuck that. Voted for Nixon.
All right, let's.
Now I'm on Fox.
Back to Boston. Now we're in Boston.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos